right, dude. Well, I'm sure in the process of going live right now. I think we're
live.
on. I think we're streaming. It's Friday, January 24th. We're on episode 24 of the Get Shit Done show. Episode 24 every day.
All right.
Feels pretty good. I
Yeah.
must admit, like doing the daily streak is great.
Totally.
I encourage anyone who's thinking about doing a daily show to do it. Like, it is exceptionally good for me anyway, like building my own internal character and integrity, like and reaffirming my focus first thing in the morning on growing the business and connecting with my people and creating valuable content for the community. It's the way I start my day every day, literally every day right now. And so that is, and it wasn't before, right? That wasn't the case before. And so it's a nice, it kind of sets the tone for the day for me.
Yeah, no, it does. I noticed that as well.
Yeah, I mean, what's that like for you? I mean, like as the co-host, like how has the process been for you? Like what is it doing for you, or what parts suck about it, if any? Like, how does it
okay feel? Yeah, no, those are good questions. So yeah, I mean, a lot of days what I find is what we talk about on the Get Shit Done show directly applies to the business that I'm creating, and gives me much greater clarity and direction with the most effective things to do next. And yeah, I mean, starting the day like that is great. And yeah, no, it does set the tone, and I'm able to, on most days, stay pretty focused and implement immediately what we just talked about on the Get Shit Done show, which is awesome. And then on the flip side of that, having the daily episodes, there are some days where, it is challenging to pull myself out of bed and get right on camera and prepare myself. But, there's also something to be said about the discipline that's created through that, and the consistency of that. And what I find with discipline is, anywhere where you can develop discipline in your life, you can apply it to anywhere else in your life.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And discipline sounds so harsh, right?
I know, right?
But I really think discipline is as a result of being fully committed to yourself and the decisions that you make, and making the choice to follow through on the commitments that you make, no matter what, right? Like that is discipline, but it's more than willpower. It's like it forces you to be more in alignment in a certain way, I think. So yeah, it's really good. I mean, I went to bed at 8:00 last night. I was so sick, so tired. I woke up at 4. I was like, oh, after waking up every 2 hours to have to go to the bathroom, and then woke up at 4, laid in bed till 5:30, finally got up, took a long, hot Epsom salt bath, started feeling a little bit better, did a yoga session, started feeling a little bit better, drank a bunch of coffee, and took some Dayquil, and now I'm ready to go.
All right. Yep.
It's like, but yeah, you definitely don't always want to have to do, want to have to go through the slog of whatever it is that you're dealing with. But if you're committing yourself to something that's worth it, or at least the journey is worth it, and the skill development that you're going through for your own personal development, regardless of the outcome, it's really good. And so
it is.
Yeah, that's awesome. So dude, what's your positive focus today?
My positive focus today, let's see.
Well, while you're thinking, dude,
I know what my positive focus is.
Okay, what do you got?
Yeah, no, I feel really excited about this 3-day sales event that I'm attending next Tuesday through Thursday with Russell Brunson. It's all about selling one-to-many influence and persuasion, and um, yeah, basically how to sell through presentations and
Yep.
how to get more people into your webinar and that kind of thing. So it seems like, I mean, obviously Facebook has been listening to my conversations because it knew exactly what ad to put in front of me.
I mean, there's no question at this point whether or not social media listens in on all of
No,
our stuff,
exactly.
right? It
Right.
totally does. There is no
Yeah.
such thing as privacy anymore. We're
Right.
beyond that, right?
But it gave me like the perfect ad, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
so that's good. No, I mean, Russell and I used to promote each other's stuff back in the day.
Yep.
We both were pupils of Mark Joyner at about the same time.
Okay.
And I mean, Russell is like the super celebrity of the direct response marketing world. Like he is
Totally.
because of ClickFunnels. He's more well known right now than any other marketing person from the community.
Yep.
And everybody has gripes with people for something. Russell overall is an awesome dude, and his stuff works. His marketing works. His software works. And he has a good school group too. If you haven't
I
joined it
just joined
already.
it. Yeah.
I believe a friend, common friend named Michael Taggart, I believe, is running the school group for him. Michael just had a child, another child who's going through a very tough time,
Okay.
has some heart conditions immediately upon being born, and so is kind of in critical, but appears to be, last I saw on Facebook, appears to be doing well. But yeah, so Michael's running, or is currently, I believe, still running that school group, so that's cool. Yeah, I mean, Russell's books are good. Like his trainings are good, his products are good, they're solid. You know
Totally.
what I mean?
Yep.
His stuff isn't always like the most brilliant, like the most groundbreaking, but it is often the most. It's weird. Russell's stuff is very acceptable. It's very palatable by a lot of different people. Like you don't. It's very understandable by almost anybody. Like it's basic, but it's simple enough for anybody to understand.
Right.
So
Okay.
I think that's one of the reasons he's been able to do so well with ClickFunnels, is because he really breaks it down in like a base, just a very straightforward way, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I like his presentation style too. He's very fast paced. He's like listening to a presentation by Russell is like listening to anybody else on double speed.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's true. Russell always a million miles an hour.
Yeah.
So, well, so you're working on your webinar, which actually, okay. So your positive focus is you signed up to this 3-day thing, and you're going to learn a whole bunch more about webinars.
Yeah. Webinars
Great.
and sales in general.
Yep. Awesome.
Yep. Which
right?
is something
Super
I need
good.
to dive into.
Yeah, and that's exactly, I mean, in my opinion, that's exactly the kind of stuff you should be doing. Like that was kind of what I was, mentioning the other day when you're asking about blind spots.
Yeah,
right?
no, that's why I did it.
Yeah,
I was thinking,
just
I had
keep
that in
on
mind.
diving
Yeah.
in.
Yep.
So that's super cool. Let's see. My positive focus is I got a late present from my dad and sister for my birthday. I got a sweet, I'm not wearing it right now, but I got a sweet Dale of Norway Norwegian sweater, which I love Norwegian sweaters. So I'm very stoked.
Cool.
My sister really wanted to tell me what it was, but I told her I'd wait for the surprise. So yeah,
Yep.
I got a nice gift in the mail for my birthday yesterday. So that was cool. And I guess I'm also pretty happy that I feel like I'm on the other side of this cold, and
That's a good thing. Yep.
I'm hopefully going to be feeling good by this weekend. So that's great news. So, all right, Eric. So, let's see. We have Gia Clark says, very nice. Not sure what you're very nicing, but I'm glad it's very nice. It's good to see you. Good to see you. So you were talking about hooks and wanting to get better at hooks for your webinar.
Yeah.
And then before the show, we started talking about attracting the right people to your business, right? And really hooks are a part of that, right? And so
Exactly.
when you say that you are wanting to get better at hooks or haven't spent that much time on it, like what is your, like at this point in your process, what's your act, like if you had to work, like form it into a question, what would be your question?
Okay, let's see. I'm trying to find like how to define the question. I think ultimately it's not really a question. It's just like me realizing that I need to spend more time on it. It's stuff I spent a lot of time and focus on in the past, like when I was learning from Fernie, because he teaches all about this stuff.
Right.
And yeah, it's something that I've kind of been overlooking more recently, and more recently getting more clear on who I'm talking to, the kind of people that I want to bring into my business, and
Well,
also the kind of people that like I don't really want to work with, and it's not going to work for them, and yeah,
right.
wanting to attract the right people and not the yeah,
Not the
ultimately,
deadbeat.
I mean, it's not for everybody. You
No,
don't
it's
want to
not.
attract just
So
everybody.
here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Yep.
So, so rather than talking about hooks, let's just start with attracting the right people. Step one,
Yeah, let's
right?
do that. Yep.
Because so I noticed this as I was mentioning off air earlier, which is really
Yep.
good, is either yesterday or the day before while you were doing your commercial break for the Pure Path.
Yeah.
You were like, so if you're in, yeah, I'm exaggerating, but you're like, if you're in financial dire straits, if you're down to your
Exactly.
last two pennies that you're rubbing together, you know, if you're $400,000 in debt and you're about to go to jail, you know, then go sign up to my free Facebook group and we'll rain money down on you so you don't have to do it yourself. Like
Right.
that's, yeah, again, I'm way exaggerating.
Way exaggerating, but
But
yeah,
the
no,
point is,
exactly. I don't want to attract broke people into my
well,
business. It's not going to work for them.
and you don't have an inexpensive product.
No, I don't.
Okay,
Right.
you have a multi-$1,000 high ticket offer like on the front end, and so
Exactly.
um so I like to think about it a little bit like, well, I I often go back to like cross country running because I ran cross country in high school and college, and so and forming a team. And so it's like for a cross country running team or a baseball team or a basketball team or a tennis team or a swimming team or a crew team or a polo team, whatever, a rugby team. Um, there are different traits that you look for in people. For each one of those teams, you look for different traits. The first thing is you look for people with some experience.
Yep.
Okay. The second, if you have some experience, chances are you can go far, but you don't have to get experience to join an intro team, right? Or have experience. And so for a running team, I know that you've probably never formed a running team, right, Eric?
No, I haven't.
But just based on what you think you might know about, if you were tasked with forming a running team of 7 people, right? What would and y'all were gonna run in 6 months. Y'all were gonna run a 10K together, and you're gonna try to win as a team.
Yep.
Okay. What would you look for in your team members? What are the characteristics or traits you would want on a running team if you guys were all going to run a race together in 6 months and try to win it?
They would have to have a high level of discipline. They would be physically fit. They would already be really great runners. I mean, probably first and foremost that. Um, they'd show up on time. They'd be consistent. Um, they'd be team players.
Yeah, it's self-motivated but willing
Self
to like be coached,
Exactly. Yep.
willing to
Yep.
set their ego aside and listen to their coach to like work together to win.
Yeah.
That's right.
Um,
Good morning, Curtis.
hey Curtis.
What's up? We're talking about how to build an awesome team.
Yeah.
Great. So those are all really great examples, Eric. And most of the things that you said, aside from being really great runners, most of the things that you said are true of most people you'd want on most teams.
True.
I mean, do
Yeah.
they have to be in really great shape to be on a non-athletic team? Of course not. But
No.
like the equivalent, they need to be reasonably good and committed to the thing that you all are doing together, right?
Exactly.
So if you were to build the perfect team over time for your Kagan business,
Yep.
the perfect team that would really like work together to build the Kagan machine the way that you believe it should be built, based on what you've learned through working
The
with these
Kangen
guys.
machine being not the actual machine, but
No,
like
not the
the
actual,
business machine. Yeah.
building the multi-level empire.
Exactly. Yep.
Your multi-level Kagan empire.
Mm-hmm.
What are the characteristics or traits that or you've learned from other leaders in Kagan that you're looking for in ideal candidates? Like what are
Right.
the
Yeah. So people that are willing to do the uncomfortable thing that stretches them to grow, people that are consistent, people that are hardworking, people that realize it's going to take the hard work and treat their business like a business and not a hobby, and people that are coachable and willing to learn new skills, are willing to implement the skills that they're learning. They have a strong drive. They have a clear vision in mind of what they're aiming for, and they know that maintaining a strong connection with that vision is what's going to drive them to succeed with what they're doing. That's an important one. They are self-motivated, but can also work together as a collective. Um, yeah, those are some really important ones.
Okay, we're at minute 17 in our broadcast. What you just rattled off is probably the smartest stuff that you've ever said that I've heard you say in terms of
Okay.
like clearly attracting the right types of people. I want you to go back to this
Yeah.
and like transcribe it by hand, upload it somewhere, get it transcribed. Oh, yeah, I don't care how you do it, but get all those things that you just rattled off at minute 17. It's like it's a little bit before minute 17
Yeah, sure.
of today's broadcast, and make those slides in your webinar. Number one, like all those different characteristics and traits that you just named off, like a little more than half a dozen items. Okay.
Yep.
And first of all, they're all good. Second of all, be careful about how much you lean on the hard work part, and like you did like 3 in a row that sounded very unappealing to people, because hard work doesn't sound that fun to most people most of the time. And so that part will repel people. It might repel the right people, but it might repel everyone. And
Okay.
so if you're laying down the law of, listen, I don't want people that are wusses. I don't want people that won't work hard. I don't want people that, uh, whatever. Like if you hit too many of those like hard line negatives in a
Yeah.
row, people will be just like, oh, this guy's an asshole. I'm out. So and I've done that, right?
Yep.
So I would encourage you to intersperse the tough guy ones a little bit, soften them a little
Sure.
bit, but it is good to be clear
No, it is.
on who you're
Realistic
attacking.
expectations.
Each one of those items, though, that you listed, each of those 6 or 8 items that you listed are great. Each one of those bullets is a great topic for a webinar. It's a
Sure.
great topic for a live stream. It's a great topic for a social post, written or a clip, where you talk about how to develop more entrepreneurial drive, how to create your vision for your business and your future. how to get better at implementing ideas instead of staying stuck in study mode. I'm going to share with you my processes on how to develop a clear, compelling vision as an entrepreneur. My process for how to, overcome overwhelm, my process for how to get outside of your comfort zone and do the thing that's uncomfortable to bring you to the next level, right? And so each one of those is a very easily its own content piece or a whole webinar just focused on drive for network marketers, drive and purpose. How network marketers find their drive and purpose when focused on promoting someone else's company. This isn't your company. We're promoting someone else's company here. How do you find drive and purpose and meaning on a consistent basis when you're in that situation? Let's talk about it. Right? Like, yeah, it's good stuff. So, but
I mean, basically, it's like how can it change your life, and what does that translate into?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, step one is like call out the types of people that you're looking for.
Yep.
Very clearly. Over and over and over again. And bring those types of people to you by creating content for those types of people.
Right. Okay.
Right. So on a basic level, like email marketing. Okay. If I did a webinar called How to Make Money on the Internet by Building Your First Email List. That's one webinar. And that could be the headline. Okay, it's very basic, but whatever. And then I do another webinar called How to Triple Your Open Rate, Deliverability, and Profitability. How to triple the open rate, deliverability, and profitability of any email list, guaranteed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I going to attract to the first one? How to build your first how to make money on the internet by building your first email list.
You're gonna attract entry level people that don't have experience with email list building.
Right.
Whereas the second one, you're going to attract people that are already building email lists, but they want to do it bigger and better.
Right.
Yep.
Right. How to cut your costs and replace half your staff with AI. Okay, we're not going to get startups or not very many people who are just in starting their own thing. Whereas if we do something called 7 shockingly profitable side hustles for 2025. Entry. Right.
Exactly.
So that's like hooks. Is like think about content. Like just think about it in terms of your webinar is just content. Okay.
Yep.
All your webinar is it's just like a short. It's just like a live stream. It just happens to be a little longer and a little more scripted. Okay.
Right.
But what's the point? Who cares? Like, why are you? What are you gonna do on it? And so, what's the main thing that you're going to want to either share with people, or the main benefit that people are going to get out of attending your webinar, whether or not they buy anything? Right?
Yep.
So, like for your upcoming webinar, and maybe there's more than one thing that they're going to get, but we want to figure out what the main thing is, what the most compelling thing is. So when I register for your webinar and I watch it next week, even if I don't buy into Kagan, what am I going to get out of it?
Yeah, if you attend and you don't buy into it, I mean, at the very least, you'll learn a lot about water. The first half of the presentation is all about water and the different types of water and hydration and the importance of that and the properties of different water and how not all water is created equal and the impacts on the environment as well as your body of different types of water.
Okay. I know you're making your own webinar, but like, is the structure of your webinar based on anyone else's webinar structure?
It is, yeah.
Is it based on another Kagan leader's webinar structure?
Yeah, it's based off of several different webinar structures that I've seen.
Have you looked at their registration pages for their webinars?
Some of them, yeah.
Okay. So with your hook, I'm oversimplifying because there's your hook, there's your offer, there's your headline, right? And these are all important words in copywriting and direct response, but they they overlap with each other too. If they mean individual things, but your hook, headline, and offer could all be in one single sentence, right? So depending on the nature of the beast, so of what you're doing. So great. I'm going to learn all about the healing effects of ionized water. Cool. Like the superior, why it's superior. Great. What else? Like, what about network marketing am I going to learn? Like, what?
Right. So
Like, am I going to walk away with anything useful or profound?
Yeah, absolutely. You'll learn the difference between low ticket sales and high ticket sales. I mean, like to make $10,000, would you rather spend all the time and energy selling 500 products and having 500 conversations with different people if you're doing it organically at a $20 profit each unit, or sell 10 products at $1,000 profit each product to make $10,000? So yeah, you'll learn the difference between that.
Like how you can make more money in less time by selling high ticket.
Yeah, more money, less selling. Yep, exactly.
Okay. Okay. What else?
You'll learn about the company that I'm working with and how it differs from a lot of other companies in the industry of network marketing. Like a lot of companies have, monthly minimums. You get deranked if you don't hit a certain target. Like you'll put all this effort into making all this sales one month, and then you'll get ranked up and get a higher bump in your commissions. But then if you don't hit that target the next month, you get deranked and you have to start from scratch every month. With the company I'm working with, that's not a thing. You never get bumped back. You're always just moving forward and growing. Yeah, you'll learn about legacy wealth, how at a certain rank you can get a monthly bonus for the rest of your life. Even if you stop building with this company, you get a $5,000 check in the mail every month for life that you can then will to your children when you're gone, and then they receive that for life. And yeah, it just starts at $5,000, and then as you continue to rank up into the high ranks, that grows significantly to where, yeah, I mean, a lot of the top leaders in the company are getting, I mean, insane monthly bonuses for life.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So here's where I think you're getting tripped up.
Okay.
And I'm not saying change anything about your webinar right now. For the record,
Yep.
Go forward with what you've got and see how it goes. It's probably going to go awesome.
Sure.
But what strikes me is you're talking all about water, which is the product.
Yep.
For the first half of the webinar, which is fine, except we both know that most people aren't on that webinar to hear about water. They're here to hear about money.
Yep.
And the second, and again, you're following a proven model to do something better than what you're already doing. So I like kudos. You're doing great. right? Like, again,
Yep.
keep going forward. But like the hole in your plan, I think, is that it's all about like the company and the opportunity and the product. It's not at all about the people on your webinar.
Sure.
And
Okay.
how, and it's
Yeah.
not actually about how you're helping them in the least. Okay, you're like, they're going to learn about the product that I'm selling and the comp plan that they get if they give me a bunch of money.
Yeah. No,
Okay,
that's a really insightful blind spot. Thank you.
the webinar itself is not valuable
Mm-hmm.
the way you just described it. I haven't seen it yet, and I'm not saying it has to be valuable in order to work, because obviously a bunch of people are using this method and it is working.
It is. Yeah.
However, let's just take Kagan out of the equation for a moment, and let's say that Kagan went out of business.
Okay.
30 days from now, Kagan pulled the plug. They're like, it's been a good run, guys, but we're done. Bankrupt. Sorry.
Yep.
Or
50
whatever.
years.
Okay. So what would you do your webinar on then?
I mean, I would immediately shift gears into my art.
That's not being very focused on serving your community
Okay.
or your market. What I'm saying is, how are you going to help your people?
Right. Okay.
So
Yep.
if you do a webinar, as we talked about before, on how to make your first sale in network marketing, that's going to be a winner.
Yep. Yep.
It's simple, it's clear, it's direct. Okay. How to build your network marketing business without ever inviting friends or family in, without ever selling to friends or family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's a proven hook.
How to automate your network marketing business with automated marketing tools,
Right.
so that you don't have to do all the work manually anymore. How to create a limitless supply of leads using internet marketing strategies for your network marketing business, right? Infinite network marketing leads by using free tools that are available to you right now, like daily live stream, for example.
Yep.
Right. How to choose the right network marketing opportunity. Hi, my name's Eric Oliver, and today I'm going to share with you my process for choosing the right business or the right network marketing opportunity. I'm going to actually go, obviously I have my own thing, and maybe you'll choose to go down that path with me, but you need to make the choice for yourself. And so there are 7 key questions I ask myself whenever I'm looking at a new opportunity. Here they are. Question number 1, does it do this? Does it do that? Question number 2, does it do this? How to make the choice. And of course, like, Kagan is hopefully going to check all your boxes, right?
Right.
But you might look at 5 competitors or 5 other big network marketing opportunities and show it on a checklist and or a graph, and show how these other 5 opportunities don't check all of your boxes, but they might for somebody else, right? Or something like
Yep.
this.
Okay.
You could say how to build your network marketing business without ever having to talk to anybody in person. How to build your network marketing business without sales calls. So I'm just off the top of my head, right? How to
Yep.
build the ultimate network marketing, how to build the ultimate email marketing follow-up sequence for your network marketing prospects. Right? So, in the meantime, if you were to go, and we've already talked about this, and interview all the other leaders that you can get in touch with and have them teach a segment on a skill for network marketers, like
Okay.
cold calling for network marketers. how to do cold calling and cold DMing online in order to grow your business, or it could be Facebook ads for network marketers. Yeah, I mean, it's limitless, right? There's
Totally.
limitless like skills that you goal setting, motivation, drive, creating vision, all the things that you mentioned earlier. So all of these are topics that you can create a training on that ultimately lead to join Kagan. Okay? So hi, my name's Eric Oliver, and one of the biggest challenges that I've discovered over time in building my team in network marketing is that people have surges of motivation, but they have a very hard time maintaining it consistently over time, especially when things aren't going well. And so today, we're going to do a little webinar on motivation, how to keep yourself motivated even when times are tough, how to stay focused on your long-term goals, how to keep motivated, how to keep optimistic, and how to push through the dark times even when things are difficult or whatever, right? It's going to be awesome. And you might teach them about affirmations. You might teach them about vision board. You might teach them about starting their morning off with a meeting, with a positive meeting with a few people in their team or whatever. There are lots of different things you could share, but all of these are ways that you can help people. And throughout the webinar, you're like, hi, my name's Eric Oliver. I'm a network marketer. I sell Kagan water ionizers. And today we're going to be teaching you guys, whether you're on my team or not, whether you're involved or not, we're going to be teaching you guys about a really cool methodology to book highly qualified calls on LinkedIn using this automated strategy that I learned from my pal Ganesh or whatever. Right. And I'm going to walk you through how I'm using it right now, and you can check it out. And hopefully it's helpful for you, or I'm going to teach you my, as I said, my motivation method, or whatever it is. At the end, if you want to find out more about getting involved in my team and my group to get involved in Kagan, let me know, because we have some cool things that I only do with my team to keep everybody motivated, on point, focused, blah, 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 during the ups and downs of the inevitable ups and downs of being a business owner. Right. And so, and then like at the end, maybe there's the whole, there's the whole thing about the comp plan and whatever. And maybe they don't even get that. Maybe they get a video about the comp plan after they book a call with you.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
All I'm saying is you can attract people. One of the things you want is people who have some experience with network marketing.
Sure.
Right. For example, so they're not starting at square one.
Yeah.
So if you're attracting experienced network marketers, then the other thing is that, if it says up at the top of your page, for experienced network marketers, you have to understand that you'll still get most people who are inexperienced network marketers. So you still set your mind, you focus on your target, but you get people that are all around your target, right? You focus on what you're aiming at, but you're going to attract all sorts of people who want to be that, right?
Okay. Right.
That's kind of the nature of the business. And so in most cases, and so but your headline and what you're going to be sharing or what you're going to be teaching, just think about, is this going to be beneficial to someone who's just getting into network marketing for the first time? Is this going to be beneficial to, whatever? So the other cool thing, as you've mentioned before, is that once you go through this and do the presentation, you can do a recorded version with the proven stuff about the water, proven stuff about the comp plan. That can be a video. And whether you give that to people after they book a call with you, or whether you follow up after a webinar, or whether you have a bunch of those slides at the end of your webinar, you can get that information to them in different ways. But
sure.
But grab their attention by offering them real value on basically, how are you going to help them? Right? That is the hook of the webinar, is how are you going to help them? So one of my most successful webinars, so just this morning, I've recently been re-listening to a lot of my own hypnosis programs.
Cool.
And the reality is that I don't normally listen to any of my hypnosis programs. Most
Okay.
like I create them and then I don't listen to them. And I was like, I'm going to go back and re-listen to the prosperity process.
Mm-hmm.
And I launched the prosperity process in 2010,
Okay.
15 years ago. It made me $1 million in the first year. Okay.
Nice. Yep.
And I did this awesome webinar that wasn't a webinar. Okay. But it was me talking into the camera and pretending kind of like it was a webinar. It was a headshot, and then there were slides at the end to close. But the way it was for the prosperity process, and the way that I did it, like isn't the way that you would do it. But the way that I did it was I gave people their first hypnosis session for free. And then if they liked it, they could continue on with the rest of the prosperity process.
Oh, cool.
So the prosperity process is a 7 hypnosis session series that was designed specifically to hypnotize you, to make more money, to live a more abundant life, to come at things from a more prosperous and prosperity-oriented perspective, so that you can make more money, go after bigger goals, break through your financial blocks. And so today we're going to do a hypnosis session, and you're going to get to taste the prosperity process for yourself. And then at the end, I'll tell you how you can go on to become a full student of the prosperity process and get the other sessions if you want to. But this session today is on the house. I'm covering the cost, totally free to you, just so you can experience what the prosperity process is like and make up your own mind. Right?
Cool. Yep.
And so the way I did that one was weird, but it worked, which is it was an evergreen webinar, and I spoke to the camera as if it was just you and me on a private session.
Right.
So I was like, hi, my name's Tellman Knudsen. I know we probably haven't met before in person, but I really appreciate you showing up on time. Not all of my clients show up on time, so pat yourself on the back, but in all seriousness, thank you for respecting both of our time and being here promptly, being ready, and not messing around. Because the reality is, if you don't take this seriously, it's not going to change. You showing up shows me at least you're taking it seriously to a certain degree. So this is going to be awesome, right? And then I go in and I basically do a 20-minute monologue on like a pre-talk for a first-time client. What hypnosis is all about, what's it like, what you're likely to experience. I go over some common questions, all this kind of stuff. And then roll into a 15 to 20 minute long hypnosis session. And then when they open their eyes, instead of my face, it's a slideshow. And it's and it's like, welcome back. How was that for you? Hopefully it was awesome. Well, if you're like anything like most of my clients, you're probably feeling really good right now, really relaxed, and you may be curious about what's next. So let me share with you the rest of the sessions in the prosperity process, what they're all about, how much it costs, and how you can get involved if you want to move forward.
Cool.
And then I go through and do the pitch. So that's a way of, as a hypnotist, that's a way of me giving people a free sample of what I'm offering. That's legitimately a free sample.
Right.
So that they can make a experienced and intelligent decision about whether or not they think it would, the prosperity process would work for them and be a smart thing to go with moving forward.
Exactly.
So with your webinars, I encourage you to do the same thing, even though it's probably not going to be hypnosis. Just to take the lessons that you've learned, and do a webinar about it, and about one lesson. Do one. Do a webinar just about how to crush it with high ticket sales and network marketing. That's it.
Okay. Yep.
Right. And one of the things is you got to have a high ticket product, and you've got to have a right compensation plan. Just so happens Kagan is both. That's why I sell Kagan ionizers. Or that's one more reason that I sell ionizers. So,
Yep.
If you guys want to get involved with my team and you want to get involved with Kagan, then sign up at the link below, and we'll hop on the phone the next couple of days and have a chat about it.
Exactly.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
But that way it's like endless hooks and endless webinars, because like, again, you can just teach people about one core thing, and that core content, by the way, can like be in the middle of your webinar. And then at the beginning, it's your intro and you're welcoming people in and everything. And the end is your close, right? So like you can reuse the close slides over and over and over again. And you may reuse a bunch of the intro slides, even if your content in the middle is a little different each time.
Right. Gotcha. Yep.
Right. And then like you'll do a bunch of those, and then a couple of them will be winners. A couple of them will be home runs.
Okay. Totally.
Cool.
That's really helpful. All of that. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting what most of the people that I've seen are doing with these webinars, or it's just product and comp plan oriented and very little else. So yeah, it's interesting to hear perspective like outside of that and how you can
I'm jumping
add
ahead
so much more into it.
I'm jumping ahead to like a few months where you're like, oh, I copied what everybody else is doing and it's not working as well as I had hoped. And I'm like, oh, well, here's some other stuff that you could do. But
Exactly.
But again, the reality is, if that is working for people who are making the kind of money that you want to make,
exactly,
then learn how to do what they're doing,
right,
regardless of what I have to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, learn the tools of the trade and the tricks of the trade from people that are succeeding right now with it, for sure.
Right. Okay. Yep.
But if they're staying stuck on the comp plan and the product, like, they're honestly in the dark ages. It's just like there's no.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people in network marketing kind of are.
Right. Well, that's the easy thing to do, right? Instead of actually adding value yourself and actually taking responsibility for your team. And so I suspect that the value that the leaders in the business are adding is not, is there, underneath it all. Like, I
think you're right.
Teams and maintaining them over the long period of time, like, regardless of how they're doing it, there's a level of connection and dedication to their team that probably is the secret sauce.
Probably so. Yep.
Like, ask them how many hours they spend talking to members of their team every week.
Right.
For example.
No, that's a good question. Yeah.
Oh, easily 10.
Yep.
Well, if you're not spending at least 10 hours a week talking to members of your team, then maybe you're missing the boat.
Yep.
For example, and again, everybody's gonna have a different answer on this stuff. Cool. So the other piece to this, Eric, is you listed off this whole list of qualities that you want in your team members. And so these are the types of people that we want to attract to our business, right?
Yep.
The question you really need to ask on an ongoing basis is, are you a shining star of all of these qualities? Are you setting the right example? Are you showing up being the ultimate Kagan superstar according to the kind of people that you want to attract onto your team? Because if you're not,
I would hope so.
Well, yeah,
I could always do better though.
So this seems to apply. So I've been talking with clients who are trying to attract people for their team. They're trying to attract prospects and customers and clients, and they're also, in many cases, I've had several clients recently. They're looking to attract love. They're looking to attract partners.
Okay.
And having gone through a divorce and entered the dating scene in my 40s for the first time since I was 19, I had some relevant personal history with the idea of, oh, well, I'm dating again suddenly. This is weird. How do I do that? Right. What I've seen is that whether you're talking about your friends or your business or a romantic partner.
Yep.
It pretty much all is the same thing. Like the people that you want to hang out with, it's like be a really good one of those.
Sure. Yep.
Right? If you want people that are going to show up consistently, then you have to start showing up consistently first. You know, if you want people who are hardworking and go outside of their comfort zone, then that's your number one priority every day. You
Yep.
know, and we all have work to do in all these areas. Like it's
Definitely.
not like you're ever going to reach the destination. You know,
No. Yeah.
like these are all things that constantly ebb and flow. But if you're embodying those things and doing those things, you know, like for example, Get Shit Done appears to be attracting people with good work ethic.
Great.
So far, that is the
Yep.
idea. It's supposed to be repelling slackers and attracting people with a good work ethic that want to get even more shit done. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which is ideal, right? Ideal. So that's kind of like the hook of Get Shit Done is in the title, right? Like the benefit is increased productivity. Like I'm going to get more shit done, right?
Totally.
So I would really encourage anyone who's trying to attract better clients, better customers, be the better customer. Kevin Nations, when he taught me high ticket selling, it's so good. And it's mind blowing how quickly this happens, Eric, is like, if you are selling a $5,000 product and you aren't willing to invest $5,000 in your own business and growth,
Mm-hmm.
good luck ever selling the product.
Right. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just like, and it's not just the financial investment, but it's also the time investment in like putting it to work and you know, putting yourself to work with it. And so it's a situation where, yeah, if you're selling high ticket, but you're not willing to spend high ticket, you're probably never going to make any money.
Right. Well, I mean,
Right.
that's what's kind of cool about working with this company. It's like you kind of have to make that investment
Right.
to even get started. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, hopefully all of this was helpful in helping to figure out your hooks and be more attractive to the ideal prospects. Are there any more any other big takeaways for you here today?
Yeah, no, definitely. That was all really helpful. And I took a lot of good notes that I'm going to review afterwards and put into use. Um, let's see. I'm just looking at my notes right now. Yeah, I really like the idea of adding more value in the webinars beyond just the product and the comp plan. Like, what can that actually translate into people's lives? What can they, well, like, what kind of impact will that have on your life? And, what problems can that solve? And speak to that more. And yeah, and then just, giving valuable trainings as part of the webinar. I think
Right.
that's a cool idea too. Yep.
I mean, it'll get more people to opt in. It'll get more people to attend. They'll I'm not saying don't mention the product. I'm not saying don't mention the comp plan, but I wouldn't personally, unless you do it and it just crushes it. And it's, if you do it and
Right.
it crushes it, then I'll eat my words. But like,
Okay.
because I'm not, I'm certainly not always right. But like,
Okay.
if you can get people to opt into a webinar and show up to a webinar that's all about the comp plan and the product, and then they buy, then like rock and roll,
Yep.
But that will get old eventually. And
Okay.
so what I'm saying is, if you have the ability, which you do, to create a community and give value to that community, regardless of what you're selling, then you've got a winner, because what you're selling can come and go and they will stay following you. They won't jump ship just because another opportunity comes by, because they're here with you.
Right.
You're
Yeah, I
helping
get that.
them, they're helping you, they're
Hmm.
following you. They're not just chasing around I mean, hopefully they're not just chasing after opportunities, though many people in network marketing are just chasing after opportunities, right?
It's true. Yep.
But
Yeah,
like,
that gets frustrating.
yeah, well,
We're trying to work with people that are always just chasing that shiny object.
right,
Yep.
right.
One thing that I have seen a lot of people do, like top leaders in our company, they're doing these like 2 or 3 day launches where the first day or the first 2 days, depending how long it is, are all about, mindset, or like it's basically like just providing a lot of value in a certain area of training, and then on the final day of the event you'll learn about the product and the opportunity, and have the opportunity to book a call and
Yeah, I mean, the
take your next
3 day,
steps.
if they're like a 3 day launch, that sounds to me a lot like the challenge model.
Exactly. Yep.
Cool. There's no reason that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Whether you're following the challenge model, or whether you're following a more traditional, older school, like Jeff Walker style product launch formula model with 3 pre-launch videos that all lead to the fourth video of join the opportunity, whatever it is. But like 3, big supporting video. That's basically taking your webinar and drawing it out over 4 videos instead of just doing it in a single presentation.
Exactly. Right.
And or over multiple days. So yeah, I mean, that it's great.
Yeah, all kinds of ideas. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, so I guess what I'm considering is like how to take, a 2 or 3 day launch where it provides that kind of value beforehand, and how to condense that into just one webinar that provides a lot of value and an opportunity.
Yeah, just focus on doing webinars, dude. You don't need to
Yeah,
you
exactly.
don't need to overcomplicate it at this
Yeah,
point.
no,
Like,
that's something,
do webinars
I'll think
first.
about in the future. Yep.
Yeah, do like a few dozen webinars first, and
Mm-hmm.
keep an eye on everybody who's doing like the 3 day event or the 3 day challenges, and just like notice what they're doing. And then if you
Yeah,
want to do a 3 day thing, great. They're a lot more work to do that, though. You
exactly.
know what I mean?
Right.
So like,
Yep.
just get a webinar that converts first. So you can
Cool.
get that under your belt. That would be my
Yeah, exactly.
recommendation. Yeah.
Great.
Cool. Well, awesome, Eric. You want to tell people about Pure Path?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I have created this amazing Facebook group called Pure Path to Prosperity. The link is in the description of this video.
Yeah, it's in the
And
PS.
what's that?
It's in the PS.
It's in the PS. That's right, way down at the bottom. So I'm going to be presenting my very first webinar this coming Tuesday. We're talking all about webinars during the show today. I'm presenting my very first one ever, and I've done my first
Are you nervous?
A little bit, yeah. But
Good.
I also
Good.
like having done the practice run of it, I feel less nervous.
Yeah.
And realize that, I feel a lot more confident with it than I realized I did, just having done even just one practice run. So that feels good. But yeah, I am a little bit nervous, especially, doing it live in front of people. But it's good. It's the name of the game, stepping out of your comfort zone. But this is for you if you are at a point in your life, maybe you have a job that you maybe even really enjoy. Maybe it's paying you really well, even, but you have this whole life at home that you can barely spend any time at. Maybe you have a family, a partner, kids, and you're just never there. And you're looking for a way to work at home, have flexible schedule while making a good income, or great income even. This is for you. And join the Pure Path to Prosperity and register for the Wave of Prosperity webinar on January 28th. It's a Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Ride the wave, baby.
Ride the wave.
Ride the wave. Ride the wave of. Ride the webinar wave straight to the seas of prosperity.
That's right.
But this is cool. I'm glad you're doing your first webinar. This is gonna be awesome. You guys should totally join Eric's group. If nothing else, join his group just to see what he's doing. Right?
Totally.
Really, really awesome. Eric has broken through his own hesitation on starting his Facebook group. So he now has over 300 people in his Facebook group, right?
I think it's just right at 300. Last I checked in, it was 299.
Nice, nice.
I haven't been in there yet this morning, but I will right after this, so we'll see.
Great, great.
It's about 300 people.
Yeah, dude, do like 3 posts a day on all the socials and in your group, like promoting the webinar.
Right.
And I really encourage you to build a registration page on Zoom if you can, and have people go and opt in and build your email list with it if you can.
I need to do that.
If you have questions about that offline, let me know. But
okay, yeah, I'll have to talk to you about that.
Yeah, I know that you're probably going to broadcast it inside the group, but you can still get people to opt into your list, and you can still start building your list and capture data and whatever. Even if you don't do it for this first one, definitely do it for your second one.
Exactly. Right.
So there's endless ways to improve your webinars. And so whenever I give you suggestions, like generally speaking, put it in your pocket for your next one, rather than letting that like distract you for whatever you're doing.
Exactly.
This time,
Right. Okay, cool.
Great. That's really, really awesome. Cool, guys. Well, if you haven't joined us at getshitdone.com, I highly encourage you to get on over to getshitdone.com. If you're an entrepreneur who wants to get more shit done, if you enjoy the Get Shit Done show, then join the community at getshitdone.com, and you'll get a weekly work party every week. You'll get the Get Shit Done hypnosis session that hypnotizes you to get more shit done. You'll get the 10K per month hypnosis session, which hypnotizes you to make $10,000 per month. And you'll get the Overcome Procrastination session, which hypnotizes you to overcome procrastination. Plus the Get Shit Done system and access to our incredible community of super motivated, uplifting, supportive entrepreneurs. So if you want to get more shit done in 2025, join us at getshitdone.com, and we'll see you guys on the inside.
Totally. You know what else you get inside Get Shit Done?
What do you get?
You get the phrase "get shit done" stuck in your head, and it becomes your mantra. And that in itself helps you to get more shit done.
Valuable.
Yeah.
That's right. Rock and roll. Well, you know what time it is?
Time to get shit done.
It's time to get shit done. All right, guys. I hope you have an awesome day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.
See you guys.
Over and out. Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, thank you.